The United Nations Environment Programme is an agency of United Nations and coordinates its environmental activities, assisting developing countries in implementing environmentally sound policies and practices. It was founded by Maurice Strong, its first director, as a result of the United Nations Conference on the Human Environment in June 1972 and has its headquarters in the Gigiri neighborhood of Nairobi, Kenya. UNEP also has 6 regional offices and various country offices. Its activities cover a wide range of issues regarding the atmosphere, marine and terrestrial ecosystems, environmental governance and green economy. It has played a significant role in developing international environmental conventions, promoting environmental science and information and illustrating the way those can be implemented in conjunction with policy, working on the development and implementation of policy with national governments, regional institutions in conjunction with environmental non-governmental organizations. UNEP has also been active in funding and implementing environment-related development projects. UNEP has aided in the formulation of guidelines and treaties on issues such as the international trade in potentially harmful chemicals, transboundary air pollution and contamination of international waterways. The World Meteorological Organization and UNEP established the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change in 1988. UNEP is also one of several implementing agencies for the Global Environment Facility and the Multilateral Fund for the Implementation of the Montreal Protocol, and it is also a member of the United Nations Development Group. The International Cyanide Management Code, a program of best practice for the chemicals used at gold mining operations, was developed under UNEP's aegis. Executive Director. UNEP's current Executive Director Eric Solheim succeeded the previous Director Achim Steiner in 2016. On 15 March 2006, the former Secretary-General of the United Nations, Kofi Annan, nominated Achim Steiner, former Director-General of the IUCN, to the position of Executive Director. The UN General Assembly followed Annan's proposal and elected him. The position was held for 17 years by Dr. Mustafa Kemal Tolba, who was instrumental in bringing environmental considerations to the forefront of global thinking and action. Under his leadership, UNEP's most widely acclaimed success, the historic 1987 agreement to protect the ozone layer, the Montreal Protocol, was negotiated. During December 1972, the UN General Assembly unanimously elected Maurice Strong to head UNEP, also Secretary-General of both the 1972 United Nations Conference on the Human Environment, which launched the World Environment Movement, and the 1992 Earth Summit. Strong has played a critical role in globalizing the environmental movement. List of Executive Directors. Structure. UNEP's structure includes 7 substantive divisions: early warning and assessment, environmental policy implementation, technology, industry and economics, regional cooperation, environmental law and conventions, communications and public information, global environment facility coordination. International years. The year 2007 was declared Year of the Dolphin by the United Nations and UNEP. Patron of the Year of the Dolphin was H.S.H. Prince Albert II of Monaco, with special ambassador to the cause being Nick Carter of the Backstreet Boys. 2010 was designated the International Year of Biodiversity and presented an opportunity to enhance knowledge of ecosystems and the services. In 2011, the UN celebrated the International Year of Forests. In 2012, the International Year for Sustainable Energy for All. 2013 has been designated as the International Year of Water Cooperation. Reports. UNEP publishes many reports, atlases and newsletters. For instance, the 5th Global Environment Outlook Assessment is a comprehensive report on environment, development and human well-being, providing analysis and information for policymakers and the concerned public. One of many points in the GO5 warns that we're living far beyond our means. It notes that the human population is now so large that the amount of resources needed to sustain it exceeds what is available. In June 2010, a report from UNEP declared that a global shift towards a vegan diet was needed to save the world from hunger, fuel shortages and climate change reform. Following the publication of 4th Assessment Report of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change in February 2007, a Paris Call for Action, read out by French President Jacques Chirac and supported by 46 countries, called for the United Nations Environment Programme to be replaced by a new and more powerful United Nations Environment Organization, also called Global Environment Organization, now supported by French President Nicolas Sarkozy and German Chancellor Angela Merkel, to be modeled on the World Health Organization. The 46 countries included the European Union nations, but notably did not include the United States, Saudi Arabia, Russia, and China, the top 4 emitters of greenhouse gases. In December 2012, following the Rio+20 summit, a decision by the General Assembly of the United Nations to strengthen and upgrade the UN Environment Programme and establish universal membership of its governing body was confirmed. Main activities. UNEP's main activities are related to climate change, including the territorial approach to climate change, disasters and conflicts, ecosystem management, environmental governance, environment under review, harmful substances, and resource efficiency. Notable world projects. UNEP has sponsored the development of solar loan programs, with attractive return rates, to buffer the initial deployment costs and entice consumers to consider and purchase solar PV systems. The most famous example is the solar loan program sponsored by UNEP helped 100,000 people finance solar power systems in India. Success in India's solar program has led to similar projects in other parts of the developing world like Tunisia, Morocco, Indonesia and Mexico. UNEP sponsors the Marshlands Project in the Middle East. In 2001, UNEP alerted the international community to the destruction of the marshlands when it released satellite images showing that 90% of the marshlands had already been lost. The UNEP support for environmental management of the Iraqi marshland commenced in August 2004. In order to manage the marshland area in an environmentally sound manner, in order to ensure full participation of global communities, UNEP works in an inclusive fashion that brings on board different societal cohorts. UNEP has a vibrant program for young people known as TUNZA. Within this program are other projects like the AEO for youth. Glaciers are shrinking at record rates and many could disappear within decades, the UN Environment Programme said on March 16, 2008. The scientists measuring the health of almost 30 glaciers around the world found that ice loss reached record levels in 2006. On average, the glaciers shrank by 4.9 feet in 2006, the most recent year for which data are available. The most severe loss was recorded at Norway's Bridal Blikkbrea Glacier, which shrank 10.2 feet in 2006. Glaciers lost an average of about a foot of ice a year between 1980 and 1999. But since the turn of the millennium, the average loss has increased to about 20 inches. electric vehicles. At the 5th Magdeburg Environmental Forum held from 3 to 4 July 2008 in Magdeburg, Germany, UNEP car manufacturer Daimler called for the establishment of infrastructure for electric vehicles. At this international conference, 250 high-ranking representatives from CE, politics and non-government organizations discussed solutions for future road transportation under the motto of Sustainable Mobility, the post-2012 CO2 Agenda.